Hello, and welcome to Your Sparkly Brand. We are here to inspire and empower female entrepreneurs just like you. This podcast is all about delivering no fluff, high value content that helps you to grow your business. It doesn't matter if you have no budget and you're still DIYing everything on your own. We are giving you the tips, tools, and strategies that you need to build a sparkly empire. I'm Megan Gersh, your brand designer, marketer, and web designer, and I'm here with my co-host and copywriter, Lauren Tessie. Hey, Lauren.
Hey, Megan. How's it going?
Very, very good. How are you?
I'm great. How's your week been? What's going on?
It's been a busy week as always. I've been working on a few very exciting design projects. I've got a website project in the works, so that has been fun. But let's talk about our sparkly moments. Do you want to kick things off? Did you have something sparkly you want to share?
Yeah. So mine's like, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to like share these two apps I've been using that I really like. So I had kind of a weird week. I had a big deadline. We're recording this on a Wednesday. I had a big deadline on a Monday. So I worked not like most of the weekend. I had planned to work on the weekend. I also had like personal stuff on Friday and personal stuff on Monday. So I was like, well, I'll work on Saturday. So I worked a lot this weekend. And then there's these two apps that I've been using, one not for that long and one for like months that I just like love. The first one, it's called Superhuman, and it's a meditation app. And it's not just meditation. It's all guided meditations. And then there's also like background music, like getting into like binaural beats and like the different frequencies and that kind of thing. There's a lot of like walking meditations and like running meditations and cooking meditations. And they're called like chilling meditation. So it's not necessarily like you have to sit there with your eyes closed and meditate, but it's just kind of like background, like a lot of affirmations and that kind of thing. And I really like it because I tend to like, if I'm cooking or if I'm doing something, I want like something going on, like music or a podcast or an audiobook. And this is like, it's not content, it like kind of like gives your brain a break and lets you just kind of like be with yourself, but still kind of have that element. So I've been using this app for a while and I think it's like really great. Totally recommend it. I'll put a link in the show notes. And then the other one I just started using is called like brain.fm. I don't know if you've heard of this one, but it's like binaural beats and like different kinds of music to like get you to like focus or to sleep or that kind of thing. And just having these like deadlines these past few days, it's been really good to just like put my ear pods in and like put on the like focus music and just like go into it. And it just helps me, really get into that mode. So those are the two things that have been making me sparkly.
I love that. I feel like they should totally steal that slogan, give your brain a break. I feel like it's like amazing.
Totally. So what about you? What's your sparkly moments?
So this week, one of the projects that I've been working on is from a longtime client of mine. And they approached me about this super fun project where they are making essentially like they have within their company, they have a committee that is dedicated to women's empowerment. And so they are making different like enamel pin designs in order to give out to people in the company that want to support the initiative. So that has been super fun. I've been working on those designs this week. And it's just something that like I felt like really aligned with when they asked me about it. It was like a project that came into my inbox where I was just like, oh my God, this is exciting. Like, so yeah, that's been making me feel a little bit sparkly.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. I love when you get to like what you're actually like working on is stuff that you're excited about too. And it's not just like sales for somebody else or something, but something you believe in.
Yeah, totally.
All right. So let's get into our topic for today. We are talking about pain points. Pain points are imperative for effective marketing. And it's all about understanding your customer. The better you understand their pain points, the better you can tap into what their problems are and how your product can help improve their lives. A brand that knows their audience creates loyal customers by improving their lives with products and services that solve real problems.
So let's talk about exactly what pain points are. So essentially, these are just the problems that your customer might be experiencing. It's what keeps them up at night. It could be a problem that they're experiencing with a product or service. Your customers also might not be aware that they have this problem until they discover your business or your product or service. Not all pain points are like these big, large problems. Some can be small as well. So like an example of a larger pain point might be something like, I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent this month or something like that. Or I need money right now. Or, I need a fast solution to this problem that's happening right in this moment. Whereas a smaller pain point might be something like, oh, I need to find a better brand of this specific product or something like that. Like, I don't really care for this one that I've been using. Maybe I want to find something different or an alternative to that brand. So
yeah, I think one of the interesting things about pain points, and specifically when we're talking about pain points that maybe you don't know you have, or it's something that you're like, well, there's something just not quite right, or maybe this could be better. And I think that's where, really great marketing and advertising comes in, because it's like, oh, wow, I like to listen to things when I'm doing things, but I don't always want to be listening to a podcast, or I don't always always want to be listening to music. And then it comes in with this like, oh, well, here's this other thing that you didn't even know you needed, a meditation while cooking app or something. And so it's those kind of things where you can really like, when you really sit down and you think about like who your ideal customer is, and you have that like avatar, like that specific person, right? She's 30, she has 2 kids, blah, blah, blah. You know, we get into that stuff. You can think about, oh yeah, well, you know, maybe she does have trouble falling asleep at night or something, and this thing can help her or whatever. Okay. So here's why it's important to identify pain points, is because it builds trust. It lets somebody, whether they're, you know, watching a video on TikTok or, you know, reading an email you sent them, it just sort of makes them go, oh my God, they get me, right? Like this person understands me. They're not just some like random, you know, CEO in a suit that has never experienced my life. Even if it's not necessarily true, like maybe you don't actually know what the person's going through. It builds that connection and that trust there. And this can also give you inspiration for new products and new services.
Definitely. And I think that is a great segue into like, how do we figure out what these pain points are? One of the best ways to figure this out is to find that ideal customer and actually have a conversation with them and talk with them about like, you know, what interests you about this new product? Like, why are you leaving a previous product behind and going with this new product? Or asking them like what their biggest struggle is with a specific topic at that moment. This is all data that you can gather from people via research or in person. I know we've talked about this on a few other podcast episodes, but it's so important to pay attention and listen to those customers, because that is such valuable information that you can take and make your products better, to integrate into your marketing, all of these kinds of things. Another great place to look is within reviews or testimonials that people leave for you. So let's say, for example, that somebody had a bad experience with your brand. That person leaving that testimonial on your page, that review, can give you some valuable information and feedback about how you might be able to improve. So, you know, maybe there is communication that needs to happen, or better communication that needs to happen in the customer experience, or maybe a product was lacking a specific feature. So taking all of that into consideration, instead of taking it as criticism, taking it as just like feedback on how you can improve, is just going to help your business in the long run. The more specific that you can get with pain points, the better off you're going to be. So just keep that in mind when you are talking to people and doing your research.
Yeah, I think, and like an example on that, on the getting specific, because I know sometimes people struggle with that. It's like, oh, I'm having trouble sleeping. Why is somebody having trouble sleeping? Is it because the baby's crying all night, and then as soon as she goes to lay down, she can't fall asleep again? Or maybe she's having trouble sleeping because she drinks too much coffee, and that's why she can't, you know, it's just sort of really thinking, like putting yourself in the shoes of your customer really helps with finding those pain points and those specific pain points. So we want to be talking to and listening to our customers when it comes to pain points. Number one, the best way to find those pain points that are going to connect with your specific customers. But there's also a couple of like universal pain points, like things we all struggle with. Money is the first one, right? We all want to save money, or we want to make more money. We just want more money. I don't think there's anyone out there who's like, nope, I have too much money. That's my problem. I don't know what to do with it. So everyone wants more money, whether that means making it or saving it. If your product or service solves this problem, then you probably want to lead with this pain point. And this is especially for like business to business sales, you know, in a sales promotion, a marketing promotion that is going to, you know, 10% off of this, that kind of thing. Just saving money is such an easy way to get people on your team. That's a great pain point to focus on. And then the other one is time. It's the same thing. Nobody's ever like, oh, I just have so much time and I don't know what to do with myself. Like that's not realistic in today's world. So if you create a product or service that frees up people's time, then you want to address that in your marketing. And the other part of it is that time and money go hand in hand, right? Like if you're giving up your time, then you should be making money, or you can give up some money and get some time back. So just using those two, especially, you know, if you're a service-based business or that kind of thing, that's probably a lot of what you're doing is you're saving someone time or you're saving them money.
Yeah, exactly. And I would just add one more to that too. I would say that like human emotion is such a strong thing that motivates people as well. And so like figuring out like, if you want to feel like this, then this is what you need to do, or here's a solution on how to get there. I think that can be a really powerful motivator as well.
Definitely.
So here's some other common pain points to consider. Keep in mind that these may not be applicable to every single type of business, but we also want to think about like productivity and processes. is I know you were talking about the meditation apps that you're trying out, and perhaps that helps you to become more productive, stuff like that. Figuring out, like, even when you're recognizing, oh, I'm not focused when this is my environment, I need a tool to help me focus on XYZ, whatever, recognizing that pain point and figuring out, okay, what are the solutions available that could help me with this specific thing. Another one would be health and vitality. So this kind of ties back to the emotions bit about, like, we all want to look and feel good. When you look good, you feel good, those kinds of things. And so, how does the product or service that your business is offering help somebody with that?
Awesome. And then one other one that, as you were saying that, I was thinking of is, and this one means different things to different people, but like love and connection, right? If maybe you're in a relationship, so you don't want, like, you're not looking for a boyfriend or something, but we all want connection, right? And a lot of times that's why people are going on social media or why people are doing this. And so if your product can help, if you own Tinder and that's what you do, then, that's another big pain point that you're solving.
Exactly.
Okay. So now that you've identified a few pain points, here's what we do with them. So it doesn't matter if it's, again, copy that you're writing, a sales page, that kind of thing, or it's your video content, right? You're getting on TikTok, you're making something like that. What you want to do is you want to call out that problem head on. We want to talk about it. We want to let customers know you understand where they're coming from. And this is where it can get a little tricky. People, a lot of times we don't want to talk about pain points, right? We don't want to make people uncomfortable, but that's actually one of the things that works best about pain points is not only are we, saying, oh, we get you, we see you, we know what you're dealing with, but we can kind of push those buttons in a way to then relieve a person's problem by presenting the solution that is, what you're selling. And there's different ways to do this. You don't have to like grind the knife in someone's stomach of like, oh my gosh, you can't sleep. You're not falling asleep at night. Your life's going to fall apart. You're going to die. You're going to lose all your money. Like we don't have to like milk those pain points to no end. When we think about like really awful advertising, like back from the 60s or those advertising that makes us cringe, that does that, it doesn't really work like that anymore. And I'm sure there are situations where it does, but like, that's not what I do. I don't believe in like just milking a pain point until people are like so manipulated into buying something. But I think there's ways to address pain points and, kind of work them into your copy without it being, painful for your customer. And it's just about acknowledging it, calling them out and going, hey, this might be something you're struggling with. It sucks. Like, I see you, like, you shouldn't have to do the world though. It's us against the world. And together we're going to help you sleep better at night or whatever, whatever we're dealing with.
Yeah. Something that one of my digital mentors taught to me that I really took to heart when I was watching their content was you have to meet people at where they are. And I think people do really respect when you do that and say, like, when you really level with them and you use that, like, kind of like us versus them kind of strategy, it really helps to connect your business and your brand to like whatever that person might be experiencing. So just another tidbit there. All right. So that is all that we have for you today. So go out there and chat with your customers, get to know them and their pain points, and see how you might be able to help them out. We hope that you got tons of value from this episode. If you learned something that's going to help your business grow, please leave us a 5-star review so that our podcast can grow too. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, stay sparkly.